Few groups singing gospel music ever became known as far and as fast as the Prophets. Organizing in Knoxville, Tennessee in 1959, they worked in nearly every state in the Union as well as Canada, leaving delighted audiences everywhere. One clue to their almost instant success was the unusual and unique arrangements and material. Whether it was a bouncing spiritual or a quiet hymn, it had the Prophets' touch. The Prophets won a berth on the Gospel Singing Caravan when they were voted by the management of the show as the best-known program material developed in recent years.
Don't make me poor, deserted or lonely. I'm not discouraged. I'm heaven bound. I'm just a pilgrim in search of a city. I want a mansion, a harp and a crown. I've got a mansion just over the hilltop in that white land where we'll never grow. And someday on earth we will never more wander, but walk on streets that are purest gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the unique sound of the Prophets Quartet.
What a wonderful day when I crossed Jordan. I walked the shores with friends I've known, with friends I know. My whole life's dream will be there before me. The tree of life, the endless day, and my Savior I'll see, Savior I'll see. I'll walk on streets of purest gold. I'll hear the hand that's never been told. Praise God, I'll sing all the saints of old. On that wonderful day, when those days unfold, I'll walk on streets of purest gold. I'll hear the hand that's never been told. Never been told. Woo. Praise God. I'll sing of the saints of old. On that wonderful day, when those gates unfold.
Yeah. Well, Big Lou lost 200 pounds, didn't he? Well, I guess most of you can see that Big Lou isn't with us tonight. And we can't, he couldn't come to us, but I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to him. How's that?
There he is. Hey, Lou. We wish you could really be with us here tonight. We miss you and love you, and all the folks here in Greenville would love to hear you sing again.
Thank you, Ed. You know, I do miss you guys, and I love you. And, folks, I love you folks there in Greenville. You'll never know what you all have meant to me in my life. And, listen, standing on stage and meeting people and proclaiming God's word in song has been my life. And I'm sorry I can't be there tonight, but listen, the next time you're going to see Big Lou, okay? God bless you.
Lou, I see you from time to time, and I kind of know what's going on in your life. And why don't you take a minute and tell the folks how you're staying active and what you're doing?
I'm working with United Family Life. Been with them for 15 years. 15 years this past August the 6th, to be exact. And work in the insurance division and work out of Hathaway Percy Funeral Home in Elizabethton. And try to keep sharped up a little bit, singing for funerals, first one thing, another like that. Just trying to keep busy, thinking about the old times we used to have and some of the good times. You folks there in South Carolina, man, I'll tell you what, we've had some good times. We love you.
You know, Lou, in all the years we traveled together, we had a lot of great times, a lot of good times, some bad times too, especially with me. I kind of have a lot of scars to prove it, but we had some great times, didn't we?
Yes, sweetness. I remember your antics. You wasn't the most agile fella in the world getting on stage. Remember the night at the Casa Manana in Fort Worth? We all took an aisle and come up on the theater in the round. You hooked your toe on the runner and fell head first right down at the microphone. I knew we had to get out of it somewhere or another, so I just run over and hollered, "Safe!" And I looked around, and Ben Spear was absolutely tearing it up down there. He was kicking and screaming and going on. It was quite funny. I know you hurt yourself, but you're pretty good at that. You're not the most agile fella in the world.
Well, Lou, I know you're busy out there in Lake Tahoe at your convention, and before we leave, I know you probably want to say something to the folks here in Greenville.
This is a fantastic program that Jack and the Palmetto States put together, and old Charlie Waller. Listen, you folks are blessed by having guys like this who are interested in gospel music, in the preservation of gospel music. Now, they're not interested in this future stuff, contemporary stuff, but they're interested in you folks and what we used to do years ago. And after all, that is what counts, is what has gone before us and what has been accomplished. And hats off to Charlie and Jack and the group for what they've done.
We tried our best, and he tried so hard to make tonight, and he's so disappointed he couldn't. And but we did the next best thing. We tried to bring him to you as well as we could, and we hope you appreciate that. The young man that's taken his place that lost 200 pounds as he walked on stage, I want you to thank him for us. We're proud of him. He's one of the finest Irish tenor, if not the finest, in gospel music today. And we're proud of him. He sings with the Masters 5. Would you make him welcome Sean Nielsen? Sean? Baby Roy, come up here, son. Okay. This young man, I guess, is one of the finest, if not the finest song stylist, I would call him, there is and has been in gospel music. And he's... I noticed on that tape, you and I look about the same size that we were on that tape. He and I have been to the same tailor. We get the suits with the bubble in the middle. But Roy is in Atlanta, he's Scientific Atlanta. He's working down there. He's supervisor there, and he's doing a little singing over around where he lives. Scientific Quartet. but I know you're happy to see him. Would you give him a nice welcome? Roy MacNeill. Roy? Jay, where you at, son? Come here, right here. This young man, I won't be quite honest with you. When he was with the prophets, I was getting ready to fire him when he quit. I really was. But I tell you what, this young man 11 years ago made a commitment to the Lord, and he is out doing solo ministry in churches all over the country, and we are certainly proud of what the Lord has done in his life. And he said something today in the luncheon about being a renegade, and he might have been. But I tell you what, no matter where you go, the Lord can do something for you. He's done it for this man, and I want you to show him how glad you are to see him and him working for the Lord for the right reason. How's that? Jay Simmons. Jay? Pasquale, come here. 60, 61, long time ago, this Italian was in Atlanta, Georgia. He came to Knoxville to play for the Prophets. He didn't hardly know what Amazing Grace was. He come out of Albany, New York, and I always told the folks he was the first Italian in gospel music. And we had problems back then, you know. We had to make him ride in the back of the bus back that many years ago. But this young man got out of gospel music. He's done extremely well. He's in Nashville, Tennessee, and he rubs elbows with all the big stars of country and pop and gospel. Every week he just runs into all of them, and he does real well because he's a lifeguard at a car wash there in Nashville. Now, come here. This young man is Vice President of Special Projects for BMI, which is a licensing organization in Nashville, and we're proud of him. And he wrote the last song we just sang, and I think you're happy to see Brother Joe Mescal. Pasquale? I don't know. Check one of them mics. We're going to make Joe sing. He never sang much on any records we ever did except, I think, one song or two. And he says, hey, I haven't played the piano. Okay. And so we're going to see if he still knows how to sing. All right, Joe? Do your best, son. Do just like we taught you.
Oh, how well I remember in the old-fashioned days how some old-fashioned people, they had some old-fashioned ways. As an old-fashioned sinner, I began to pray, and God heard me and he saved me in the old-fashioned way. Sing it, boys.
Was an old-fashioned meeting in an old-fashioned.
Oh yeah, come on.
Where some old-fashioned people had some old-fashioned grace. As an old-fashioned sinner, I began to pray, and God heard me and saved me in the old-fashioned way. They were singing songs of praise, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. And the old account was settled, and my name was written down. I was saying yes to Jesus as the fire fell that day, and God heard me and saved me in the old-fashioned way. Was an old-fashioned meeting in an old-fashioned place, where some old-fashioned people had some old-fashioned grace. As an old-fashioned sinner, I began to pray, and God heard me and saved me in
Yes, he hurt me.
Yes, he hurt.
I know he hurt me.
Yes, he hurt me.
Oh, yes, he saved me.
And saved
I
me.
know he hurt me.
Yes, he hurt.
Thank God he hurt me.
And saved me in the